Have you ever sat down to enjoy a beautifully grilled piece of fish, feeling proud that you're making a smart choice for your body, only to discover later that the very fish on your plate might be quietly working against your health? Most of us have been told for decades that fish is one of the healthiest foods we can eat. It's lean, it's filled with omega-3 fatty acids, and it feels light and easy on the stomach. That's the image we've carried all our lives. But here's a truth many people never hear. Not every fish is a friend to your health, especially as you grow older. In fact, certain types can slowly become an enemy, bringing subtle but harmful changes, like memory lapses you can't explain, sudden spikes in blood pressure, aching joints that refuse to calm down, or a constant mental fog that leaves you feeling unlike yourself. Sometimes the problem isn't just the passing of time, it's what's ending up on your plate. You see, some fish contain high levels of mercury, toxins, and harmful chemicals that your body can't easily remove. And for older adults with slower metabolism and more sensitive systems, these substances build up faster, staying in your blood, your tissues, and even crossing into your brain. The unsettling part is, most people have no idea it's happening. Week after week, they keep eating the same types, believing they're making a healthy choice, when in reality, they're setting themselves up for serious problems. If you value your mind, your heart, and your ability to live the next chapter of life with strength, clarity, and dignity, this conversation is for you. Today, we'll uncover 6 specific types of fish that older adults should avoid completely, and I think you'll be surprised by how common some of them are. We'll also explore the reasons they can be dangerous, and I'll give you safer, healthier options you can still enjoy without worry. Before we dive in, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Journey, and gently tap the notification bell so you'll never miss the insights that help you protect your golden years. Now, let's get started. Fish 1: king mackerel. Let's begin with a fish that may sound harmless, yet can be surprisingly dangerous for older adults. King mackerel. Picture Harold, 71, a retired teacher living in Arizona. Every weekend for years, he would light up the grill and lay out thick mackerel steaks, savoring the smoky aroma and firm bite. To him, it was the perfect healthy habit. No red meat, no deep frying, just pure grilled goodness. Over time, Harold noticed small but troubling changes. He struggled to recall familiar names, repeated the same stories, and misplaced everyday items. His wife urged him to see a doctor, and tests revealed extremely high mercury levels. The source: king mackerel. This species is among the highest in mercury content. And the problem is that mercury doesn't just pass through the body. In seniors, it builds up, enters the bloodstream, crosses into the brain, and can disrupt the nervous system, accelerating memory loss, anxiety, and even dementia. Many people believe all fish protect the brain, but not all do. Some, like king mackerel, can quietly harm it. The good news: you can switch to Atlantic mackerel instead. It's lower in mercury, still rich in omega-3 fats, and offers a similar taste without the same health risks. Fish 2: tilefish. Mercury concerns don't end with one type of fish. There's another that often slips under the radar. It's light, tender, and shows up in tacos and seafood platters that many believe are heart-friendly. But for older adults, it can quietly chip away at your health from within. I'm talking about tilefish. Picture Eleanor, a 69-year-old retired bookstore owner from Virginia. Every Wednesday, she treated herself to lunch at a cozy seaside cafe. Her favorite crispy tilefish tacos with a squeeze of fresh lime. They felt light, refreshing, and wholesome, the highlight of her week. But slowly, things began to change. She noticed a tingling in her fingertips that eventually crept down to her toes. She assumed it was poor circulation or arthritis. But the numbness grew worse. Her balance faltered, and her grip weakened. After several doctor visits, blood tests, and a discussion with a nutritionist, the truth surfaced: mercury poisoning from tilefish. This fish may look clean and harmless, but beneath that flaky texture lies one of the highest mercury contents of any seafood, ranking alongside shark and swordfish. For seniors, the danger is magnified. Our kidneys clear toxins more slowly, and our brains are more sensitive. Even small amounts of mercury, over time, can damage the nervous system. Adding to the risk, tilefish isn't always labeled clearly. In many markets or restaurants, it's simply called whitefish, a name that sounds harmless but hides the truth. If you don't know the source, especially if it's from the Gulf of Mexico, it's best to avoid it completely. When you're over 60, even small exposures add up fast. Always ask, always check the label. A little caution now can prevent big health problems later. Fish 3. Swordfish. If hearing about tilefish caught you off guard, the next fish might surprise you even more. It's often celebrated as a luxurious choice, rich, meaty, and impressive on any plate. You'll find it in upscale restaurants and even on backyard grills during special gatherings. But for older adults, it can quietly strain the heart and cloud the mind. I'm talking about swordfish. Let me introduce you to Gerald, a 73-year-old retired engineer from Ohio. Last Christmas, his son decided to prepare something unique for the family dinner. Instead of the usual roast, he served thick, beautifully grilled swordfish steaks. They looked perfect golden on the outside, juicy on the inside. Gerald enjoyed every bite and even helped himself to seconds. That evening, though, he felt a wave of dizziness. The room seemed to tilt, and his steps were unsteady. He brushed it off, thinking it might be the wine or simply standing up too fast. But over the next few days, the fog in his mind didn't clear. His thoughts felt slower, his energy lower, and his focus dull. After several checkups and a dietary review, the culprit was identified: mercury exposure from the swordfish dinner. Swordfish is one of the highest mercury fish available. And mercury doesn't simply pass through the body. It accumulates day by day, meal by meal, until symptoms appear as memory problems, blurred vision, fatigue, confusion, or worse. There's another challenge with swordfish. It's dense, oily flesh. As we age, digestion naturally slows, and our bodies produce fewer enzymes. Heavyweights, including thick fish like swordfish, can sit in the stomach longer, causing bloating, discomfort, or acid reflux. If you're eating swordfish for its omega-3 benefits, there are far safer options. Sardines and wild-caught salmon are both rich in healthy fats without the mercury concerns. Smaller fish like sardines live lower on the food chain, so they don't have time to accumulate dangerous toxins. They're easier on digestion, affordable, and simple to prepare. Before adding swordfish to your next special meal, ask yourself, is it worth the risk? In your golden years, your body deserves nourishment and care, not an extra burden. Fish food, farmed salmon. Let's shift focus for a moment. The next fish doesn't carry a luxury reputation or a spot on fine dining menus. In fact, it's one of the most common choices in grocery stores: mild in taste, friendly on the wallet, but for older adults, it can quietly contribute to clogged arteries and persistent inflammation. I'm talking about farmed salmon. Consider Marlene, a 75-year-old retired nurse from Washington. She prided herself on making smart, heart-healthy decisions. Every day began with a brisk walk, plenty of water, and 3 times a week, salmon on her plate. It was doctor recommended, and she felt confident it was boosting both her heart and brain health. Monday meant grilled salmon. Wednesday brought a baked fillet, and Sunday featured a fresh salmon salad. Then came a routine medical checkup. Her doctor noticed something troubling. Her inflammation markers had jumped. Her joints were more tender, her energy lower than usual, and surprisingly, her cholesterol had climbed. The cause: farm salmon. Many don't realize there's a stark difference between farm salmon and its wild-caught counterpart. On the surface, they look nearly identical. But farm salmon are raised in crowded enclosures and fed unnatural diets heavy in corn, soy, and processed animal byproducts. This diet produces high levels of inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids, the very kind that can worsen arthritis, joint and heart disease risk in seniors. To prevent disease in such cramped conditions, many farm salmon are treated with antibiotics, leaving behind trace residues that end up on your fork week after week without your knowledge. The mistake is easy to make, picking up a package simply labeled salmon without checking its origin. If it doesn't clearly state wild-caught or Alaskan salmon, it's likely farmed. The fix is simple. Choose wild Alaskan salmon whenever possible. It's naturally raised, clean, rich in omega-3s, and free of artificial additives. Yes, it costs more. But ask yourself, what is your health worth after a lifetime of hard work? You've earned the right to be selective about what fuels your body. Fish 5, shark. If you thought the last fish was surprising, here's one you might never expect to see on a foods to avoid list: shark. While it is not a weekly staple for most people, it can show up in ways you do not realize, especially in certain restaurants, seafood grills, or even as part of some fast food specials. Many diners are drawn to it for its firm texture and mild flavor, often comparing it to a beef steak. I remember a story about Robert, a 72-year-old from California, who decided to try grilled shark while celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary with his wife. The waiter praised it as a lean, high-protein choice, perfect for someone watching their heart and waistline. Robert enjoyed it so much that he began ordering it every few weeks, believing he had found a delicious and healthy treat. But after several months, things changed. He started feeling unusually sluggish. His joints ached, and his memory seemed foggier than before. Concerned, he went for a checkup. Blood tests revealed alarmingly high mercury levels and elevated urea, along with signs that his liver and kidneys were under stress. The culprit, that healthy grilled shark. As a large predator at the top of the food chain, lives for many years, giving it plenty of time to accumulate mercury and urea in its flesh. When consumed, these toxins enter your body in concentrated amounts. For older adults, whose liver and kidney function naturally slow down with age, clearing these toxins becomes an even heavier burden. If you love seafood and want a safer alternative, opt for trout. It is rich in healthy fats, easier to digest, and far gentler on your brain, heart, and joints. Sometimes, the smartest choice is not the one that sounds most exotic, but the one that truly supports your long-term health. Fish 6, catfish. We've reached the final fish on this list, and it might surprise you. It's one of the most familiar, the most comforting, and perhaps the most harmful. It's inexpensive, served in diners and takeout spots all over the country. And for many people on a tight budget, it's a weekly indulgence. Let's talk about catfish. Meet Harold, a 72-year-old retired mechanic from a small town in Mississippi. Every Saturday evening, without fail, Harold would head to his favorite roadside cafe. His order never changed: crispy fried catfish, creamy coleslaw, a slice of cornbread, and a tall glass of sweet tea. It was his tradition, a taste of home that made the week feel complete. But one night, Harold experienced something frightening: a sudden chest pain, dizziness, and weakness in his left arm sent him straight to the hospital. Tests revealed he'd suffered a mini stroke. Doctors also discovered sky-high cholesterol, elevated blood pressure, and high inflammation markers. When they asked about his diet, that weekly plate of fried catfish became a key talking point. Here's the concern: catfish are bottom feeders, spending their lives in rivers and lakes, often consuming whatever sinks to the bottom, including chemical residues, waste, pesticides, and other pollutants. Over time, these toxins build up in their flesh. When eaten, they can quietly add to health risks, especially for older adults. If you love a mild, tender fish, choose a cleaner option like cod or haddock. When baked, grilled, or lightly seared, they deliver the same comfort without the hidden dangers protecting your heart, your brain, and your independence. Sometimes, protecting your health begins not with what you put on your plate, but with what you choose to leave off of it. Let's pause for a moment, because I understand this isn't an easy message to take in. Some of these fish might have been part of your life for decades. They may bring back images of long Sunday lunches with family, community fish fries at the church, or those peaceful evenings at the kitchen table. They may be woven into your comfort, your habits, and even your cultural traditions. And now, hearing that these familiar foods could be harmful feels unsettling. It's tough, because food isn't just about nutrition, it's about memories, connections, and love. So yes, learning that something you trusted might actually be working against you can sting. For many older adults, especially those who have always tried to eat well, it can even feel like a personal betrayal. You believed these foods would keep you strong, and now you're discovering that some of them may quietly be pulling you away from health rather than toward it. But here's the hopeful truth: you are still in control. You still hold the power to make choices that protect your mind, your balance, and your future. Every meal is an opportunity, a chance to either nourish your body or put unnecessary strain on it. When you remove heavy toxins, hidden chemicals, and inflammation-causing substances from your diet, you give your body the space it needs to heal. You make it easier to breathe deeply, to recall names without hesitation, to walk without stiffness, and to feel like yourself again. And this is not about chasing perfection. It's about building awareness. It's about choosing, little by little, to make better decisions. You can start small, check your refrigerator, see what fish are in your freezer, and have an honest conversation with your children or your caregiver. Share what you've learned today, talk it over, ask questions, because silence keeps us stuck, while knowledge moves us forward. Maybe you begin by replacing just one type of fish this week. Maybe you learn how to read labels more carefully before you buy, or maybe you help a friend, a spouse, or a neighbor make the same change. Whatever steps you take, know this: they matter. Every single action in the right direction adds up to stronger, safer, and more vibrant years ahead. You are never too old to begin. You are never too late to shift course. And you are certainly not alone. You deserve mornings where your mind feels clear, days without aching joints, and a heart that doesn't feel overworked. You deserve food that strengthens you, not food that quietly works against you. And sometimes, that journey begins not with what you add, but with what you take away. Let's quickly revisit what we've covered today, because what you now know could make a lasting difference for you or someone you love. The 6 fish older adults should avoid are king mackerel, with mercury levels so high they threaten your memory and cognitive health; tilefish, a hidden trigger for nerve damage and numbness; Swordfish, packed with toxins and too heavy for aging digestion. Farmed salmon, carrying inflammation, promoting fats, and concealed antibiotics. Shark, exotic but dangerous, especially for kidney and liver health. Catfish, a bottom feeder that can bring pollution straight to your plate. Now, let me ask you, which one surprised you the most? Was there a fish you thought was safe, but now seems like a hidden risk? Or have you already swapped one of these out for a healthier alternative? Share your thoughts in the comments. I truly read each and every one, because your stories, questions, and wisdom help shape this community. You might inspire someone else simply by speaking up. And if this video has opened your eyes, if you feel more informed, more confident, and more in control of your health than you did just 15 minutes ago, then let's keep this conversation going. Subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Journey for more videos created especially for older adults who want clarity, truth, and practical guidance without confusion or half-truths. Here, we speak from the heart, with compassion, backed by facts, and with a deep respect for your life experience. You have walked too many miles, faced too many challenges, to be misled now. You deserve the truth. You deserve to live with strength, purpose, and dignity. So, stay connected, stay curious, and above all, stay wise. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. It means more than you know. You are not walking this path alone. Until next time, take good care of yourself. Make choices that serve your health, and I will see you in the next video.